Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're looking at the Jewish Book of Why by Alfred J. Kolach. And it's a great introduction to the practices of Judaism, even for someone who's well versed in the faith. It tries to give a non-biased approach. It kind of explains in here that it tries to it looks at interpretations from let the wind go. Interpretations from Orthodox, Conservative, and Reform Judaism. It's even give alternative answers to things I've learned in the past. So the way the book is arranged, it's like each chapter is a different topic. So like objects and garb, and it's just little things like why are tefillin not worn on Sabbath or on holidays, and it kind of explains it. These different things. Why are women not obligated to wear tefillin? And even before this, it talks about the tzitzits. Things I've learned in here, like I didn't realize people refer to mezuzah as Shema, which kind of makes sense. It explains into that. It'll go from something that you may think, oh, that's pretty basic and common knowledge. Like, why is the mezuzah handwritten on parchment? Then it may go into something like that you had no idea about. Like 1 minute it's something very basic, and then all of a sudden it's going to this complicated detailed stuff. Just trying to get some of the sunlight in here. Yeah, this is personally one of my favorite books on Judaism because it's formatted in a way where you don't have to read it like a novel. You can kind of just jump into it and find the topic that you're looking for. Goes deep into like why the kippah is worn. Obviously, I'm not going to go through everything. You should get the book yourself and read it, but goes into here like why are tefillin referred to as phylacteries. Kind of talks about how it comes from the New Testament and the Greek, but it may not have actually referred to that. But yeah, this I would recommend for anybody who just wants to learn Jewish practices, whether you've been doing it your whole life, you're converting, or curious, because I feel like everybody can benefit from this. Because like I said, there's things I've learned about that this is giving a different approach to it. So it doesn't go like too deep in the sense like, oh, you don't feel like picking up a thick novel. You just want to learn something like, oh, why do you fast on Yom Kippur? That kind of stuff. Why do women light candles? Here it says, why is the Torah parchment attached to rollers? Why do some Jews avoid eating nuts on Rosh Hashanah? Just random questions that you may be wondering about. Why is the book of Jonah read on Yom Kippur? So like I said, it's in different sections. So here it's the high holidays, so it's showing Rosh Hashanah. And then after those questions, it goes into the Yom Kippur questions. Why did Jesus visit a body of water? On Rosh Hashanah afternoon to empty their pockets of crumbs. Why is the shofar blown on Rosh Hashanah? Goes into Shavuot. It's a really good book. Why is the mezuzah handwritten on parchment? I even learned in here people wear mezuzahs as amulets. Why is the mezuzah a kiss? That's more like a cousin. There's nothing actually saying you have to. Yeah, here it says, why is the mezuzah often hang on a chain and worn around the neck? So it goes into that. As a quote. So I wanted to go back to this section right here. Why are women not obligated to wear tefillin? That's the key word, not obligated. Because some people think, oh, why aren't they allowed to? It's not that they're not allowed to, they don't have to. They could, if they want to, they should be wearing tefillin. It goes into here about someone in the Holy Land from Russia, a Hasidic girl would wear tefillin and a talit every day for morning prayers. And the rabbinate didn't like it, but she would do it anyways. There's nothing against it. Even we know that Rashi's daughters wore tefillin. That's a key difference. I've heard some rabbis talk about saying, oh, we haven't seen women done this in the past, so they shouldn't be wearing it. But even in the Talmud, it talks about that they're not obligated to. So meaning if they don't do it, there's no punishment against it. I can do a whole other video on that. It's in Tractate Brachot. But yeah, this is a good book if you're introductory to Judaism or if you've been practicing Judaism your whole life. I feel like there's something in here that everybody can learn from. So yeah, that's my sort of review on the Jewish Book of Why by Alfred J. Kolach. I think there's a second book on this. If you're interested, go try picking it up. Or maybe there's an ebook version, but yeah, I feel like this, besides from obviously the Chumash and like Mishnah Torah, everybody should have this. Thanks again, stay tuned for another video.